Morning, everyone. We can't hear the music, Father Fish.
Hello, all.
Good morning, everyone. The music's really faint again.
Hi there. Mercy. All right. Glory. Good morning, Joey.
Good morning.
We're
How is everyone this morning?
chaotic again this morning.
Oh, yeah. And I'm echoing. Uh, well, I threw a little note in the chat saying, we'll be right along. Father Fish had to reboot his computer, issues.
Yeah,
So,
whole series of issues this morning.
yeah. I think first off, I would like to thank Fish on Tactics for his $1.99 super chat right out of the gate.
Absolutely.
Thank
Thank you,
you so
Fission.
much. We appreciate it. And then I think we should get right into our hellos, don't you?
Let's do it. And I'm
All
going to let
right.
you take the lead. And
You
I'm
want
going
me?
to keep my mouth shut so we can get through it.
Thank you for listening to me. Thank you so much. Okay. Good morning. I see Roman first, and Glassbox Fox. Good morning. Karuna Karen's here. Coffee, welcome. Fish on Tactics. Patrick Murphy. Brienne's Fish Fan. Dennis Lord. And I have to scroll because there's always a lot of chat in here. Andres is here. Xanadu. T-Bone is here this morning. Well, evening for him, but waterculture. And then I see James Handy. Good morning. And Lady Aquatics. Mermaids Chorus. And then I'm scrolling because there are a lot of people in here, a lot of activity. Frugal Aquatics, which is TJ. Hello. Glassbox Fox, I think said your name already, but hello again. David Fellows, Catfish Terry's in the house. Patrick Murphy, I think I already said him. George
Obviously.
Trotter. My sister Stephanie's in here. I'm scrolling. And I'm trying not to miss, and if I overlook you, I apologize. Teresa's here this morning. Main Sales, Fins and First. Jess is here. Jeff Tanks. Joshua Miller. And sorry, there are a lot of people. This is awesome. Greg the Guppy guy, scoring 36, and world's smallest fish from Johan. Hopefully, I didn't miss anybody, and we'll try to acknowledge as we go along. If I did miss somebody, Father Fish, jump in. And Chevy Fish. Miss Chevy Fish is here this
Hey,
morning.
Chevy Fish, right?
Wonderful mod that's here this morning. One of our official mods that comes in and helps out with the chat, answering questions, drops links, greets everybody. And my sister Steph, I know, tries to also help out with greetings, so we appreciate that very much. And did you want to start with something? Or I know there was a question for me, Father Fish, but if you want to go with something, I can answer mine as we go along.
Well, go ahead. Take
Okay.
yours.
I believe is way back in the chat, but I believe it was Andres, and I think he was asking how I do my microworms. And I like to cook a mixture. I use the old-fashioned oats, and I cook a mixture. I do about 50% oats and 50% rice, and I use white rice because it's real starchy. And I cook that, let it cool, and then I put it in a container. I use a really tall container, and I fill it half full, sometimes more than half full of your medium, your oats and your rice, and then you have to put in your culture. And it doesn't take much of a culture to add to the top of that, and a little bit of dry yeast. On the cover, I poke a few holes for air. I cut a piece of coffee filter, put it over, and tape around the edges because you don't want any other critters getting into your microworms. They will crash your microworm culture. And then it's gonna take probably sometimes up to a week before you start seeing microworms. And then you're gonna have microworms. You're gonna have microworms daily. With that, the way I do mine, mine lasts for months, and I just add a little bit of dry yeast in occasionally, and I mean occasionally. And you'll go a long time before you would even have to bump your your media. Before you'd have to put something else in. Sometimes I'll bump it up with some rice checks or something, throw a few on the top, a little bit of dry yeast. But that's months. You can go literally months with the way I do it. And so hopefully that helps. And, you just need your culture.
Yeah, what are cultures asking? Doesn't it get moldy?
No,
That's the remarkable thing.
Let me get mine. And the one I'm going to show you.
What's remarkable about the way Joey does this is that it does not get moldy. I, for years, have done very shallow cultures, maybe an inch deep at the most. And within a week, they're foul and have to be thrown away. The way she does it, they last literally for months, and it works its way down. It'll get shorter and shorter as it goes along. It's just really remarkable.
The one that I'm showing you is the one that I had just made the day we talked about it, which was months ago. Remember? It was probably 2 or 3 or 4.
1 month
3 or 4 months ago. Okay, so this is the same culture. This is the same culture. It is months old.
Wow.
Months old. Wow. No mold. And there's my top with my, I poke the holes, put the coffee filter on, tape around the edge so you get a little bit of air. You don't want any mites or anything getting in there because that will crash it. But literally, this is that culture I set up months ago and showed you guys. And, and it was probably up to here. And that's how much it settled. And I don't mess with it. I mean, I always have worms available. So.
How often have you put yeast in that?
Probably twice.
About once a month.
Yep.
Amazing.
That's how I do it.
Amazing.
So,
really.
I hope you all have good luck with your worms. and I always say, we're crazy people because we love to talk about worms and bugs and snails and how's your worm culture? As we have our morning coffee. But I hope that helps everyone. And
that really is a significant breakthrough.
Good luck with your culture.
I know professionals, people who raise fish by the millions on fish farms who do not do what Joey's doing and have to replace their worm culture every week or two because it goes bad. They just haven't figured this out. And it is it's a game changer.
My secret.
Really? I love it.
I don't know. I just figured it out because like I say, we all, mess with our fish rooms and our fish tanks and whatever it is we're doing, and you change things. And I don't even know what made me start, because you're right. All the instructions you get are like, put in like a half an inch, to an inch max.
Yeah, exactly.
Put it in a low container. I have to put mine in a high container because those worms still crawl to the top. If I had that in a shallow container, I wouldn't even be able to open the cover without, getting near the worms. So anyway, I have more worms than my fish ever need, but we're good. So anyway, okay. Really. So do we have any other questions? Have you seen any questions?
Uh, Stephanie and Frugal are both commenting on Catfish Terry, who's here with us this morning.
Yeah, and
Delighted to have you, Catfish.
um,
And clearly one of the nicest people on the fish fam. Just a delight to have you with
yeah.
us.
And well, I mean, Terry's just a good guy, supports the fish fam, and it's always a good place for people to hang out.
Bet.
So
You bet. You bet.
yeah. Um. Oh, TJ, you've got some coffee grounds. Awesome. Awesome. See, I knew you could find some.
Coffee grounds to redworms. You
Yeah, well,
bet.
he needs to do his setup for
Really.
that. So.
Now,
All right.
red wigglers are supposedly not as good for fish as night crawlers. The theory being that somehow red wigglers cause um, digestive issues with fish. I frankly have never found a problem with it and really don't believe it's true. But there is a popular notion out there that somehow red wigglers are not as good for fish as are night crawlers. As I said,
Hey, I
I've never
figure as
experienced.
long as you have some food, you're you're doing well.
Right, really.
Oh my goodness,
Uh,
Roman. Roman is awesome. He said that culture, I spoke about the worms on December 20th. So I had just set that
oh,
culture up. So that's how old that culture is. Yeah. Thank you, Roman, for going back and
and he's
researching that.
water culture saying possibly the yeast breaks down the sugars too fast, creating CO2, low pH, and then outcompetes any mold. I don't know.
Well, you know what, water culture? That may be, but I'm not technical and I just raise my words.
It gets interesting issues. Somebody sent me a comment on an older video about deep substrate and raising issues having to do with anaerobics. And it was a very complex argument, a very sophisticated one. And it got to the end of it, and I said, you know what? I don't know. I don't understand the why and the how. What I understand is the what. I know that it works. And so
Right.
I do it because it works. I don't
Yep.
know how it works. And I don't know why it works. I do know it works. So I
Yeah.
do it that way.
Well,
And I
that's
think
that's sorry.
that's the ultimate scientific method.
Right.
It's not critical that you understand it. It's critical that what you're doing is repeatable. You can do it time and time and time again and get the same result. That's what the scientific method is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be making a worm culture every 2 weeks. I don't want to. So I figured out a way that I don't have to, and it doesn't mold for me. And I have, as you can see, tons of worms available every day if I want them or need them. And that's how I work. I always tell you guys I'm not scientific. I'm just go by experience. So I do see one question here, Father Fish, and Brianne's just asking if 5-6 guppies will be okay in 5 gallon with sponge filter. Absolutely, absolutely.
No, I would say no. I would
You,
say no.
you
I
would
would
say
say
no to 5 to 6 guppies in a 5 gallon tank,
yes. I would say no.
and why
Right.
is that?
Because they're
We're
going to
gonna.
be unhappy.
Oh my
They're not
goodness!
going to be Guppies need to be in large crowds. They like big families.
But with
They're
5 to
big.
6, they're gonna have a big family.
Yeah, they're basically Italian. They
Yeah, but
like big families.
they're gonna breed and
Uh,
have fry, and there's gonna be more than 5 or 6. Father
well,
Fish
in
and
the
I
meantime,
argue.
they may require a lot of encouragement, though.
I don't
I
think
mean,
so.
you may
I breed in 5 gallon tanks all day long, and I have massive amounts of guppies. I'm going to argue.
once you get the massive amounts of guppies, that's fine. Then you're okay. But with
Yeah.
those two or three or four or five in a tank, they can get real upset. They can get lonely. They can get frightened. You know.
That's what I start with. I start with usually a pair or a trio in a 5-gallon tank, and I give them some plants, floating plants or whatever. And it's long before I have the village. So I'm just trying to argue with you.
You just made my case. Anybody who had Joey taking care of them would be comfortable and happy and just delighted to be there, healthy and vigorous and just wanting to move it on.
So there, we just had our first fight on screen, a real disagreement. Because I think it can be done, but he is right, Brian. You need, if you're going to do it, you need, the plants. You need cover. They need to be able to, get away from each other, and then, be able to have a place for the babies to get to. If you're looking to community,
be a happy place, right?
Yeah, if you're looking to community breed, but in my opinion, 5 to 6 guppies in that situation would be fine. He likes it a different way, but see, that's what makes the fish world go round, right?
I'm just being cantankerous.
I'm being yellow today because I'm like, I'm not taking that. I'm not backing down.
You are. You look at you.
I'm ready for a fight. All right. Because of the microworm thing, I've lost track of who's come in here. I'm sorry. I see a lot of people on Wanderers come in.
Here you go. Gene Campbell says, my guppies were so lonely, they filled the tank with babies. There you go.
Yeah, well, that's the same thing I'm saying too, Father Fish.
I know it is. I know.
Oh, goodness. Good morning, the blind fish keeper.
Your mothering instinct.
Do you have a question that you would like to answer that I might not argue with? Would you go ahead and answer one?
Oh, dear God.
Hello, Ashu. I got to get to the bottom of the chat. Hello, Howard.
Donald Drew, I'm at the bottom.
Hi, Christine.
Donald Drew is here. Good morning, Donald. James Handy. And Chevy is entertaining the crowd.
Okay, I am going to answer Donald. The microworms could be fed to any small fish. I mean, I specifically use them for fry. But you could, if you had some small tetras or whatever, you could every once in a while.
Yeah, guppies love them.
Yeah. It's, whatever. You just need a small fish. I mean, I wouldn't put microworms in here. They just end up floating around in the water, and these guys, wouldn't get them. You could feed it to a small fish. And he's right. Guppies, tetras, live bears. Sure, if you've got an excess of them, throw some in. They don't die right away. They live in the water column for a couple days. So you can't go wrong. It's live food. Feed it to whatever can eat it. It's not the most nutritious food. It's not as good as brine shrimp. So don't just feed microworms. They need other food. But if you want to give them as a treat or an addition to, perfect. That's my feeling.
Yeah, it's good for baby fish because there's a lot of fat. The babies need the fat.
Yeah. TJ, stop you.
Skinny. I saw that. Right. Go further.
I just think, we're just here for the entertainment, right?
Chevy Fish says, I found the guppies seem to care more about eating and breeding.
Yeah.
Well, right. Exactly.
I've seen him out there hanging in front of a sign. I'm lonely.
And World's Smallest Shift Room says, Chevy, that sounds kind of good. There we go. Tisha's going to nail it here. When I set up my new tank this week, I will buy 1 or 2 male guppies for my females and older adolescent female fry. Somehow I don't have any male fry. Well, that's curious, isn't it?
But that does sometimes happen.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, good idea, Tisha. Get yourself a male to go in there. Pick a pretty one. Pick something you really like,
Oh dear.
because you have virgin females. So if you whatever you breed, that whatever male you pick is the way you're gonna start in that tank.
And Naresh says, Father Fish, how many guppies and mollies are you keeping a 2 foot by 1 foot tank in your method? Two foot by 1 foot. Well, if it's 2 foot by 1 foot, I probably would not keep any guppies in it at all, unless it were also at least 2 inches tall. I mean, it'd be like putting them on a piece of paper, 2 foot wide and 1 foot deep. Now, the third dimension would be it would be able to hold water. And if it held water, then you could put fish in it. But if it were simply 2 feet wide and 1 foot deep, it wouldn't hold any water. So it would have to have some height in order to be able to keep fish in it. I don't know how many fish I would keep on a flat board, but probably not very many. And yes, Naresh, I am teasing you.
Yeah, it's hard to figure sometimes with his dry humor. He's not like me. I just giggle all the time. No, I did not have an Irish coffee this morning, waterculture. Believe it or not, this is me.
Where's my bottle? I think I need
goodness.
a refill.
Good morning, the blind fish keeper. Brandon. Yes, Naresh is Blue Patrick. It got figured out, and you know what it was? It was that he either hadn't subscribed or YouTube had unsubscribed him, which we know does happen. And because he hadn't subscribed, Father Fish couldn't give him a wrench and have it stick. And once they figured that out,
right,
the rest is blue.
It was just an oversight. Yeah, funny stuff, isn't it?
Hank has given us another $1.99 super chat for our first argument on screen. Because believe me, it's not the first argument.
No, not at all. Actually, a drunk stream. Waterculture says we should do a drunk stream. Oh my God.
Do what?
That would be. We should do a drunk stream. We should have a drinking party. Waterculture is saying.
I don't know. I mean, I'm a happy drunk. Are you a grouchy one? Because if you're grouchy, no way.
No, I'm not a grouchy drunk. I'm a lunatic drunk, actually.
Well, like we said, the truth sermon, that might be a problem too.
Yeah, really.
Might not be a good idea.
I'm bad enough without it, Lord.
That's true. Oh my goodness! All right.
In a lot of years, and I don't care to be.
I guess I need to stop because I am not on track. I have no idea what's going on in this chat.
There ain't no track to be on. The track's long gone. No track. Ain't no track here. I don't see no track. You see a track?
I gotta tell you, I wish I was rethinking the sweatshirt. I'm like, with all this laughing, I'm like, this wasn't a good idea. Wow.
Oh my.
Turn that on a t-shirt.
Think about your sweatshirt.
How about an evening show with wine? Well, we might be able to consider, a tasteful one glass of wine for an occasional evening show, just to set the.
A more sophisticated, urbane presentation.
Okay, wait a minute. You're gonna have to find somebody else because that's not me. Find somebody else for that show.
Well, we can do a down home country, happy country.
Yeah.
That'd be fun to do.
Oh my goodness. Right.
No, I don't want to do that either.
Is there a question in here we need to address?
2-gallon glass, what are called? I don't know.
I don't know. All right.
James Handy. I've kept 30 guppies in a 10-gallon just fine in my breeding days.
Hey, I'm not going to do the Johans, but I can drink with the best of them. Don't worry about me. I can hold my own.
You can too. Yeah. I don't do it. I don't do it.
Yes, Christina, that's me. I'm a Canadian. Well, just take this and multiply it. I mean, it gets worse. Anyway.
Chola, did anybody notice I am famous on YouTube today? Yes, you are. Shoot.
Yes,
we were delighted. Delighted.
Your video is up and people are watching it. That's awesome.
I know. That's wonderful. And Ashu is such a delightful young lady. Absolutely.
She absolutely is. Beautiful.
Yes.
Young lady.
Yes, so. Absolutely.
All right.
Out there on the desert in India.
Where the colorful sand is. No.
Desert princess. She is.
That is it. Yeah. Okay. So in all seriousness, because I can't scroll back and I can't be serious, but if you put in a question or you have a serious question, can you repost it? I'm going to try to stop laughing so we can answer a couple questions. I might not be successful. And when I laugh, my eyes water. So sorry, guys. I keep dabbing. Anyway, okay.
It says Patrick Murphy says to James Handy, yeah, I was thinking of something that wouldn't require routine hatching. What in the world are they talking about? James Handy.
Well, that's the thing. I'm sure everybody's been having real conversations in here, and we're not being serious.
And what are cultures saying? Prove it. Oh, well.
And Andre says, can night crawlers and red wigglers be kept together? That I don't know because I don't keep them.
7 hours.
What do you think?
Hello, Paul C.
Hello, Paul C.
Can night crawlers? Oh, here we go. First serious question.
I literally just read this question to you and you ignored me as usual. Just read it. Just giving you a hard time.
I think it must be the gap. Read it again.
No, you read it. Can night crawlers and red wigglers be kept together?
You know what's funny about that?
Everything? No, what?
I did not read it. I looked at it. I saw it. I didn't say word one about it.
You did. You said, here we go, a real question. And you said something about night crawlers, and I knew what you were going to read. And I just read it.
I didn't say anything about night crawler. Yeah, I know what this is. I know exactly what this is. And I am now in serious trouble. One of the things I noticed about my ex is that she would get really angry with me. And I would say to her, why are you angry with me? And she would say, because you said thus and such. And I would sit there and I knew deep in my heart, I said no such thing. I also knew I thought it. And I know the reason I didn't say it was because when I thought it, I said to myself, self, you better not say that or you're going to catch hell.
Okay, so, wait a minute.
What?
This isn't the comparison. This is more like, Dad, duh, listen to me.
She's reading my mind.
All right, answer the question about the worms.
She is. She's reading my mind. Can night crawlers
I'm gonna try to be real quiet.
Can night crawlers and red wigglers be kept together? Night crawlers and I could do this, but I only have night crawlers in my fridge. I don't have any red wigglers. They won't fight. They will not fight. Worms don't fight.
I think that's the question. Will one eat the other?
Worms are essentially pacifists. They do not fight. They don't try to eat each other, nothing like that. Can they be kept together? Red wigglers can be kept at a higher temperature than night crawlers can. Night crawlers don't like to get hot. Red wigglers do not mind getting hot. We can raise red wigglers here in Florida. We cannot raise night crawlers because it gets too hot. They die. Can they be kept together? They can be kept together, but they prefer different environments.
Okay.
You need to keep night crawlers. If you're in Florida, you have to keep them refrigerated. Whereas with red wigglers, you do not need to keep them refrigerated.
Okay. Christina has a question, Father Fish. She says, fastest growing plants. I have to do my dirted tank by the 1st when I start work. My daughter is taking over my guppy breeders temporarily. So she wants to get that tank set up and going and some fast growing plants. What do you suggest?
Well, do some basic stuff. Do some Vallisneria, Anacris, Kabamba. Do stuff that you know is going to grow well and grow easily. Guppy grass, certainly. Yeah, anything that's going to fill the tank out. You can always begin weeding it out and adding nicer plants later, but it's always good to start with stuff that's going to give you a lot of growth, give you a real bang right away, because that's going to stabilize the tank. Word Dunlap is saying red wigglers will lay eggs in the night crawlers. Well, I didn't know that. Doesn't seem right to me.
Is he joking? Is that
I
a
don't
joking?
know. Yeah, I think he's joking. It says JK.
Yeah, JK. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they're not parasitic at all. That would be a parasitic action. And I don't believe they're parasitic.
Sorry. Gene, this is so Monday. Yeah, it is. You know what? I think it is the yellow. Because remember, I think the last time I wore a yellow shirt one other time, and it was the same kind of a crazy stream. I guess I should avoid yellow shirts.
I have no doubt, unless we're really needing to be on a roll.
Sorry.
And Rocco is saying, Rocco is making the same point. He said he used to raise worms. Their bedding is different due to heat tolerances. Right.
Yeah, true. I like Chevy Fish's comment. The first day of spring was this weekend. It must be something in the air, LOL. Maybe. Good morning, the bird.
Duckweed.
So many people I haven't said hi to. I'm sorry.
And Frugal says worms don't fight because they don't have fists. They don't have teeth either.
Good morning, Dave Lindquist. I would check the likes, but can everybody hit the like button, please, if you haven't? That would be awesome. And I don't know, I was trying to figure out what Ashi was talking about. She just says duckweed, ? And I was trying to see if there was something above the duckweed, ? So that I knew what you were talking. I mean,
Fast growing plant,
Yeah, I would
maybe.
say
That could
be sure
be.
you want it. Be sure you want it. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, yeah.
Make sure duckweed is what you're looking for because
Once you get duckweed, you always have duckweed.
it's a bit invasive. Yeah, it can be great, but it can be a pain in the butt too. So just make sure you don't mind it.
Jay Oliver. Hello, Jay Oliver. Andre, would you set up a 6 foot
Oh,
long tank
mm.
without the center brace? No, I wouldn't.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
And
That's a
fishing
big
tank takes you back. Did I
fishing
do
tank.
that before?
So much. This is his third super chat of the day. Thank you so much. Fish on tank. Thank you.
Thank you, Fish on.
Um. Well,
Fishy on is single handedly supporting
I know.
Father Fish's eleemosynary activities here.
Um. No, you don't want to set that up without a center brace because that tank is going to bow so much, and there will be so much pressure on those seams. It's a recipe for a problem. That's my
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah.
I mean, there's so much pressure in a fish tank. That's just you don't want that exploding in your living room, or you
And it
don't.
can do that. It absolutely can.
Yeah, yeah.
Frugal,
Okay,
we're not even going to go there.
yeah, Christina. Good luck with those plants. I hope it all works out and that you get the tank going, and it's awesome. Rocco's still talking about worms. If you keep them both out, the worms outside in a compost pile, it will be perfect. Just at different depths. Okay, red's on the top and night crawlers on the bottom.
Okay,
Cool.
backwater, what's your system for killing duckweed? A backward fisherman, I find it easy to kill duckweed.
Yeah.
Is that all of it, or most of it, or some of it, or what?
Right. I mean, I know it doesn't like to be wet, constantly wet on the top, but other than that, I don't know how to kill it in a tank, without putting
Put
things
something
I
in there that eats it. You know, there are fish that'll eat it. You can put it in with fish that'll eat it, and
doesn't
that'll
permanently,
disappear.
but it won't permanently get rid of it because there's always a piece hiding here, there, and the filter up in the corner, and you take those fish
Well,
out.
that's the issue. Yeah, goldfish.
Yeah, it
Goldfish
comes
are the
with,
best way to control it.
but
Uh,
it would still be the same thing. They'll never get every little piece. It'll always be in the tank if you take the goldfish
yeah.
out. That. We'll see what they say. It'll be interesting.
Ooh,
Interesting.
suck it
Um,
into the sump. There's one.
yeah. Increase water flow. Well, yeah.
Hungry mollies.
The backwards fish room says increase water flow. I mean, that's true. Skim the water daily. Well, you are right, Bert Dunlap. To control it, to have it in your tank, but control it, you're absolutely right. Skim it out.
Skim the water, yeah.
Christina has 8 layers goldfish. Duckweed, not a problem. Right. As long as your goldfish are in the water, in that tank, and if you've had duckweed in the past, yes, they will control it for sure.
Now, Rocco is saying, did you know about the T-shirt fundraiser for Aquarium Cup? And no, I did not do
Yeah,
that.
so if you could post a link for that, please do.
Yeah, I'll post a link for that, please.
Yeah.
I did see a T-shirt. Bree was wearing one on a stream a week or so ago, and I thought it was interesting, but I never heard more about it.
Yeah. Well, anyway, good morning, Papa Shrimp and Rocco's Fish Room, and I see Kevin Brown's in here, and hello to the Backwards Fish Room. I mean, I'm behind on hellos. I apologize. Good morning,
Yeah,
everyone.
Frugal is saying deep sand means low nitrates, and my duckweed dies too. I did not occasionally had problems with duckweed in certain tanks, but by and large, I did not. By and large, the duckweed just didn't take hold. I've had lots of other substrate. Um, It just when it was a problem, it was a real problem. Generally, a lot of light. Uh, Duckweed seems to prefer a lot of light. If you've got heavy light, that's going to promote growth with the duckweed.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, they're saying with the frogbit and the duckweed, I mean, they're both gonna grow. The whole top of your tank is just gonna be covered in frogbit and duckweed. I mean, they'll both grow well, unfortunately.
She was saying it disappeared in her tanks, but she's got apple snails, and apple snails will eat.
Yeah, they'll eat it. Yeah,
They will eat any plant you've got in there.
a true apple snail will eat the plants. The mystery snails
Do
don't
not.
eat the
That's
duckweed,
true. Yeah,
but the actual apple snail will eat the duckweed.
correct. And they are not the same.
No, they're not the same.
The apple snail bears its young live. It'll have one a day or so. Whereas the mystery snail lays eggs. They're totally different kind of snail.
So,
Because frogbit, we're Dunlap, frogbit control duckweed. It can choke it out. I think frogbit can dominate and overwhelm it. It's a bigger leaf.
Duckweed in there.
Huh?
I have tanks like that where the top's covered in frogbit, but there's still a ton of duckweed in there. The whole top of my tank is covered.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it doesn't get rid of it. It may slow the duckweed down, but it doesn't get rid of it. There was something else. I guess maybe it was the duckweed thing.
Yeah, water culture saying the canal's covered in it. Well, that's right. Canals are amazing. He was saying 10 years ago the canal had none. Now it's 2 inches thick and 10 miles long.
Yeah.
Same thing happens with water hyacinth, water lettuce. Any of these invasive plants can absolutely take over.
Oh, they can. Father Fish David Fellows is asking. He, had raised his temperature to 86, and his clown loaches are doing great. But now he says his plants are suffering. He's trying to figure out what might be the ideal temperature to keep the clown loaches happy and his plants happy. And it might not be because of the temperature.
Yeah, plants should not be affected by a temperature like that at all. I don't think that's the issue. You can try lowering it. I mean, bring it down to 84, but I don't think the plants are affected by a high temperature.
The temperature, yeah.
Um,
I've not noticed that because I have a couple tanks that I've kept a little bit warmer and it has not affected my plants. So, yeah. Is it a dirty tank? Is there plenty of nutrition for the plants, David? I don't remember if that tank was dirted or not. Good morning, Roz. How you doing? Thanks for coming in. Fish and Wings, hello. The bird dude.
Bird Dude is saying, can you talk a little more about mystery snail eggs? The critical thing about the snail eggs is they can't be in the water. They lay them if you know what a mud dauber is, a wasp that lays a mud nest. That's what the mystery snail eggs look like a mud dauber's nest, a little track of mud up at or what looks like mud, up above the water level. It takes about a month for those babies to hatch out. Once they do, they fall into the water.
Fish on, Tank Dicks. Thank you.
There he is.
You're amazing. We love you.
Fish and Tank Dicks.
Yeah, thank you so much. And Roz, as our mother would love to say, you missed the best part. She was famous for that. If you left a party, she'd tell you the next morning, "Oh, I know you left and you missed the best part." Yes. It never failed. You missed the best part. Oh.
For those of you who do not understand what fishing is doing here, the fishing is aware that all of the income that comes in to Father Fish is redistributed through the fish fam, 100% of it. And he's aware of that. He's committed to that and is supportive of that, and is in his way trying to create some interest in being similarly supportive among the people who are participating here. So I'm not asking for support. All I'm saying is that there are motivations that many of you may not be aware of about things like super chats and memberships and so forth. I'm retired and have a retirement income, so I do not depend on this, but I do use it in a way that benefits others who are in the fish fam, who are active in the channel, who are able to benefit from it by making various commitments.
Very nice, Father.
So that's where that's coming from. And we deeply appreciate it, fishing.
Good morning, gnarly fish tanks. Yes, thank you, Fish On. We're done laughing.
We're done like right. Yeah, exactly. March around like a communist with a Stalin pepper. They do that, don't they? Yeah. I've not noticed that mystery snails are Stalin-esque particularly, but it does sort of, in a very peculiar and perverse way, make total sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not at all sure I can describe that, or care to, for that matter.
So, Father Fish.
Yes.
Could you explain how someone could tell the difference between an apple snail and a mystery snail? Other than they're listed on the tank, this is an apple, listed as a price. How would they know if they were looking?
Okay, it's really quite simple.
Okay.
The mystery snail is a large snail that's kind of round. The apple snail is a larger snail that's kind of round.
We're going to go there?
You don't think that's helpful? Well, they
No,
look different.
I mean, obviously the size, when they're mature, you can see a size difference. But seriously, if somebody was trying to find
there you go.
There's no, because I was like, I've never seen two beside each other, so I had no experience of saying if there's a difference. So basically, there's not a difference, huh?
Well, they all have they look the same.
Well, that's what I thought. That I was like, maybe there's something I'm missing, and Father Fish knows the secret too, the difference. Oh my goodness, Kevin Brown, thank you so much. Waterculture, thank you for your super chats. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Waterculture.
Hello, Kenny.
Thank you, Kevin Brown.
That's hard.
Waterculture wants me to go high tech. Good luck with that.
Yeah, Kenny, I argued with Father Fish online on the show.
She did. And then she read my mind, which is really unfair. Under gravel heater, Andre saying. The only kind of under gravel heater I've used has been like a reptile pad under the tank. I've never used a glass heater in the gravel. because it tends to bake the sand onto the glass,
It does.
and
Yeah.
it ruins the heater and prevents it from actually being able to function.
Yeah. Yeah. You'll end up with this whole crusty brown, bumpy looking thing on the outside of your heater. And as you said, it will ruin it. Okay, the bird dude. Apple snails aren't legal. Well, I know they aren't legal here either, but I was like, is there some secret I don't know about?
You know what's weird is that a lot of I keep picking up comments from otherwise intelligent people on the fish front who equate apple snails and mystery snails, and they say they're the same kind of snail. Well, they're not.
They're not.
They're totally
No,
different snails. They do look alike. I mean, you get them both the same size, and it's a bit of a trick to tell them apart, particularly when they're small.
Yeah.
The mystery snail has a shinier shell. The apple snail has a dull shell.
Oh, so now you're finally going to give us some info. Okay, how long does this take? You people know I asked him, and he's like, "There's no difference." Okay, go ahead. Let's hear the rest of it.
I'm done.
No, you're not.
That's all you get.
So now, people, I want you to take your snails out, dry them off, and see which ones are shiny and which ones are.
You can see it in the water. The apple snail is not shiny. The mystery snail is shiny.
All right, there you go. Finally got an answer. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Black. Good morning, Joni P.
I think the other thing is that the mystery snail, and the apple snail. The apple snail is kind of mean. They're sort of dominant and aggressive, and they go around chewing on everything. Apple snails will eat every single plant in your tank down to the root.
Okay.
Mystery snails will not.
Here comes Fish on Tank Dicks in for yet again.
Testing the theory of shiny shells. Fun.
Thank you, Fish on. Thank you so much.
I know. Oh, dear God.
All right. See, everybody's going on the
Oh, here we go. Chevy fish. Mystery snails are a type of apple snail, but apple snails are not mystery snails. That's perfectly clear.
Thank you, Chevy.
So it's a classification issue. All mystery snails are apple snails, but all apple snails are not mystery snails. Well, I get that. All brown dogs have 4 legs, but not all 4-legged dogs are brown. I get that.
I like what Christina says. I have 11 tanks and 7 grandkids with grandkids. Low tech wins because kids gotta eat, and I need tanks for my sanity. Good for you, Christina.
Go, Christina. You bet. 11 tanks and 7 kids with grandkids. My God.
All right. I know.
Grandkids.
With grandkids, yeah.
Mercy, Matilda. You go, Christina. So if that could be 50 grandchildren.
It could.
Can
Okay,
you
so
imagine?
Master Black, I gave my apple snails away last year because I lost a lot of cool plants. That's what Father Fish is saying,
Yeah,
though. Eat your
exactly
plants.
right.
That's right. That's right.
Well, Ashu is saying, can we discuss what are the reasons people here don't like high-tech plants? I don't like them because I don't like the dependence on equipment and electricity. That's a really, really good question, Ashu. It really is, and it does clearly separate the George farmers from the Father Fishes. And I have enormous respect for George Farmer. I better, but he is a very sophisticated aquaculturist who does some of the most magnificent things you could possibly imagine that are utterly dependent upon a substantial financial resource. And I guess that's kind of what it is. I'm the poor man's George Farmer.
I have to read the backwards fish room. All jacuzzis are hot tubs, but not all hot tubs are jacuzzis. So true. Oh my god.
Oh dear. Right. We could get into serious trouble with this comparison thing.
Yeah, we can't go too far with it. That's right.
Really.
Uh,
Horticulture is saying you wouldn't consider George Farmer particularly high tech. Well, I don't know what you mean by that. You know, he likes planted tanks, but he doesn't do deep substrate. You know, he does CO2 injection, he does high light, he does uh, um, what am I thinking? Liquid fertilizers. I think his whole approach is high tech and not at all low tech. I mean, even when when he's talking about Amano systems, Amano was not low tech. Amano was high tech. There was a bridge there, and I think it was really Wallstead that bridged that gap and that allowed us to get over to the other side to find ways of being low tech by using the science of the high tech approach. The green machine kind of did the same thing with all of the supplements that they used when they set up systems. It's that supplement really that's allowed the low tech fish keeper to be able to build a system that maintains substantial plant growth and fish and tank health over an extended period. I'm rambling a bit here, but I think I've got a point.
okay,
I think
okay, get to the point. Get to the point. Because I'm dying. I'm laughing. I'm dying. Hurry up.
Horticulture is saying I'd consider both George Farmer and Amano mid-tech, natural stylescapes with a high-tech touch are their forte. I don't know, maybe. I I think it's argumentative at that point. Um, and I can appreciate that you can make the same argument on my side that I'm really not low tech because I'm doing additives, and the additives um, are not naturally occurring, if you will. So maybe it's a spectrum that we're dealing with, and not rigid classifications.
Patrick Murphy says, Best Monday morning I've had in a while. Well,
Oof,
good.
there goes the point.
And Chevy Fish comes in with
Wiggles, right?
just like all red wiggles or worms are not like
Wiggles, lurkers, and any one of that's well done, Chevy.
all red wigglers. Oh God, I couldn't even read that. She's making me laugh. Yes, Teresa, thank you. Everyone hit the
Wiggles,
thumbs up.
wiggles and lurkers. I like the wiggles and lurkers. Right. And we distinguish
I'll
between
tell you,
wiggles.
I should have worn a sweatshirt.
Are all lurkers wigglers or all wigglers lurkers? I think all wigglers are lurkers, but not all lurkers are wigglers.
Okay.
And horticulture's agreeing with himself. That's good.
Is this the argument board? You want
Really,
5 minutes? 5 minutes?
it's the best way to make a point is to agree with yourself.
Well, that's
It
you
shows
on
it
full
shows the
circle.
argument why I get in trouble all the time because I keep arguing with myself.
Yeah, Chevy says we're supposed to say wigglers.
Right.
That's what I thought. That's how in my mind, Chevy, that's how I read it. uh,
Oh, here we go.
it's like
There's a comment. There's a comment on one of my videos by What is Mesophonia? And this is the level on which I've been struggling for the last few days. Says Father Fish, it's possible that she, speaking about Wolstead, is simply being cautious. Sulfates can get used up in time, and provided the aquarist isn't adding more sulfates via certain fish foods or fertilizers. Oh, and I've lost track. Anyway, even the deepest layers may well be innocuous. What?
Father Fish, Nicholas Flanagan has a question for you. It says, Father Fish, I ordered some of your substrate on Get Gills on February 27th and sent you a couple of emails. Did you receive my order, and when do you think you will get it out, or it will go out?
I'll have to check. I sent February 27th. That should have gone out.
Yeah, I guess just make
a bunch. Yeah, I sent a bunch of stuff out last Tuesday, I think.
You check and see if his was part of that order.
Yeah, I don't know if I can find it.
Can you make a note of this and then check on it later?
Yeah, I'll check and I'll send you an email on it, Nicholas. If it should have gone out. If it didn't, I will be sure it does. Give me your zip code, Nicholas. What's the date?
Yeah, it was. You're right. We're done. That was when he was moving, doing stuff at the shop. So it may have gotten overlooked, but if it did, you'll send him out.
Yeah, exactly. What's your zip code, Nicholas?
Thank you, Brad. Yes, if everyone could hit the like button. Give Father Fish a thumbs up.
Are we down on likes here?
Well, that's what Brad says.
22, 74 and 22. 74 watching, 52 likes.
Oh, Brad, you should rewatch. This has been a crazy stream.
Yeah, it'll be more fun to watch.
I think this one would be worth rewatching just so you can laugh. I don't
Anyone
know if
ever
a lot of good
keep a
information
tarpon? Yeah, I've had tarpons. Yeah, Andre, you were asking about this the other day.
Father Fish, can you give Nicholas a wrench, please? Could you give Nicholas a wrench, please? I think if he's waited this long for his substrate, he needs a wrench for his substrate package. Anyway, sorry.
Nicholas, did you send me
The zip code. He hasn't put the zip code in yet.
Zip code.
That's how he's going to see if he sent something your way, I guess.
Yeah, I need your zip code. I can check against my receipt.
Yeah.
And see if I sent it. I got the receipt right here.
Okay.
For last week, the 15th.
Nicholas,
Oh.
you're headed to work. Have a good day, but can you throw your zip code in the chat so he can see if he sent you? There it is. It's in there, Father Fish. 115.
11563.
Nicholas, have a good day. A wonderful day.
Yes, I sent it. Lynbrook, New York. I sent it on the 15th. So
You sent it on the 15th? It should have been
mail
there by
service
now.
being what, yeah. Mail service being what it is, you ought to get it. You'll get it this week. You should get it today. You should have gotten it earlier, but things get screwed up in the mail.
Yeah.
But I did send it, yes.
Okay. Well, keep an eye out for it, and if you don't get it, then just reach back out.
Yeah, let me know. I'd be happy to send it again if you don't get it.
Father Fish.
What is one?
One just came in below, and he's throwing on his zip code, so maybe you were sending something to him, but he's got 6. See where? Did you send something to that zip code? Good morning.
I don't know.
34240. 34240.
240. No.
No.
What is that?
So Juan, was that also for supplements? And where did you
I don't
order?
know. Is that right? When did you order one?
When and what? And on what platform did you order?
Yeah, when and what? Right.
Or was it through PayPal? How did you order one? If you could let Father Fish know that. Get
Right.
one of them. Also.
I do have orders going out this week, and including a bunch of mugs. There are people who have not gotten their mugs yet because I had to wait for a new order to come in, but I've got them, and they will be going out today or tomorrow.
Okay.
Let us know, Nicholas, if you don't get it. I'll be happy to send it again.
Okay.
Chevy
Right.
Fish listing my PayPal. USPS is iffy. Yes, it is.
Yeah. Thank you. All right.
All right. What are we doing
Okay,
here?
now back to the comedy.
Comedy
Now
hour.
that we've been serious about the business, now I'm joking. If anybody has a question, we'll try to answer it.
Oh dear.
My mother used to say that all the time. Oh dear, she'd say. Oh dear.
Oh dear.
All right. Okay.
Any tip for German blue rams?
On to time. Welcome.
Tips for German blue rams. Oh my. Tips for German blue rams. I love me some German blue rams. I do. I do indeed.
I wouldn't call that a tip. Okay.
I think the biggest problem people have with rams is not keeping the temperature up. They're like discus. If it's below 82, they're going to be unhappy, and ultimately they will die. You got to keep them up, Donald Drew. Keep them hot. Yeah, that's really the key. You got to keep temperature up. Anything else doesn't matter so much. That's really what's critical.
Yeah.
Regarding LEDs, how can you tell if they're low, medium, or high? Regarding LEDs. I don't. Well, here, let me give you an example. Right here in back of us. Well, if I can do this.
Hey, Father Fish.
What?
Kenny wants to know if you are going to the ACA in St. Louis.
No, I'm
No,
doing something here. Stop interrupting me.
I'll interrupt
See
if I
this?
want to.
Jeez, girl. See this right here?
All
This
right,
is
go,
this
go
is
ahead.
this is the LED 4-foot strip. Okay, I have no idea whether this is low, medium, or high.
No.
What I do is, if I'm not getting adequate plant growth, I'll put another one on and make it 2, or
So,
maybe even 3. So
so
I
that's
just use it. Yeah, very practical kind of
well. I was gonna
answer.
say that goes along with the low tech. We're low tech. It's like if one light's not enough, we put on 2
Right,
because we're not scientific.
right.
I like it.
So
I think it's great.
now that's interesting, Joey. That
Well,
means that the high tech approach um, is really more about linguistics than it is about practices. That is to say, it's more about being able to talk about what you're doing than it is about what you're actually doing. So
possibly.
if you can describe what you're doing in a high level of scientific terminology, then you must be high tech. Because if you couldn't do that, you obviously would be low tech. So high tech and low tech really have to do with language and not with devices and the like.
I would
Here,
say that
Stephen. Thank you, Steve.
that could be right there. Thank you, Stephen.
Stephen, the shiny shell fund, right?
The shiny shell. I'm all about the shiny shell, Stephen. You must know that by now. I'm gonna put some glitter on my snails.
Glitter on your snails. Yeah, that'll work. See, here's a perfect example. There's culture saying LED is categorized depending on PAR, photosynthetic available radiation at substrate level. Now, see, there you go. That's a perfect example of a high tech approach to lighting. Now, my approach is if one ain't enough, add another one. That's a low tech approach.
Yep.
A high tech approach is the photosynthetic available radiation at the substrate level is genuinely inadequate. Therefore, I will augment that with additional wattage. That's a high tech approach. A low tech approach is, ain't got enough light there. Put another one on. That's a low tech approach. And
Fish,
now we
fish
now
on
we
to
understand.
fish on. You're amazing. Another
Can't
super
even get
chat.
it. There it is.
For the tiny shell fun. And Jean, I think that's kind of expensive for a 12 pack.
What?
I'm being sarcastic. If you're buying a 12 pack of beer for 80 bucks, you're not. I'm just being funny. Some expensive beer.
Oh my.
I can't even see the screen. I'm laughing so hard, which makes me teary-eyed, and I can't even focus on the screen. What a disaster!
Christina, I went to Walmart, got $10 grow lights. All the lights cost too much. That's exactly what this is. This is actually an $8 LED. I get these through Amazon. I get 8 of them in a box for 50 bucks. That's like actually less than $8. And I like them a lot. They're cheap. So if they're cheap, that's also low tech. Low tech is cheap, and low tech is uh, um, um, intellectually unsophisticated. Is low tech.
Uh, I agree, Steph. Go with a druzy snail. I like
A
sparkly.
droopy.
Druzy, like druzy quartz. Druzy quartz is very, very sparkly. It's almost like um
A
what's the
druzy snail.
frosty crystals. It has that same look, and just anyway, it's like, yeah, I want a sparkly snail. I don't want any dull shells. I want sparkly.
Well, the neurites, if we could ever start getting some of the really cool neurites out of the Far East, they are stunning.
They're
They're
sparkly.
rainbow. They're
Oh,
well, I don't know about sparkly, but
I
they
could
have
go for a rainbow.
rainbows of colors on them.
I would love a rainbow snail. I mean, who wouldn't want a rainbow snail?
Really. The backward
Probably
fish.
a serious fish keeper would not want a rainbow snail. But by now, you guys must realize I'm not that serious.
Okay, so here's a question. Um, are pretty is pretty high tech?
Yep, that's it. That's it. Pretty is high tech. No, not really. No, not really. I know. I mean, we're Dunlap. You have no idea what's going through my mind right now. I'm gonna find a snail.
No, but we would all love to know, wouldn't we?
Oh, he's right. He's right on target for what I'm thinking. I'm like, I'm gonna bedazzle a snail. I can do it. I can do it.
The backward fish room. Father Fish, I know you don't keep a saltwater tank, but you know how to care for sea cucumbers and urchins. I got a few free things with my live rock. Yeah, I will be setting up a saltwater tank. I don't know how or where I'm going to do it, but I got to do it. I'm just not sure what it's going to entail yet. The thing about sea cucumbers and urchins is substrate. Substrate's really critical for them. They do not do well on bare bottom. They're a filter. They're not a filter feeder. They're a fine food feeder. They the sea urchin, the cucumber, is like a worm. It eats massive amounts of stuff and digests it and then poops out the dirt. Someone used the secret
Fish on,
word
Pancake.
bedazzled fish.
Thank you. You're awesome. Thank you so much.
Mercy, mercy.
I'm gonna bedazzle a snail for you. I'll come up with something really pretty. How about I bedazzle some bladder snails? That should bling them up, right?
There you go. Right.
Oh God! All right. As oh who trying to think of who said it.
Funny stuff.
I'm trying to think of something my mother used to say. I think it was something like, as Aunt Lettuce used to say, "This has gone straight to the dung pile."
To the what pile?
Dung.
Oh, the dung pile.
The dung. D-U-N-G. The dung pile.
Even says, stick a fork in me and call me low tech. Nobody would ever call you low tech, Steve.
You are not low tech. I'm low tech. I'm low tech. I'm no tech. That's me. No tech.
Bateson says low tech is brute forcing light into plants. Well, more or less.
Sorry.
More or less, right.
We're done, but
Take
says,
take a hammer to it.
just don't give snails gold teeth. You don't want me to give him a grill?
Bedazzled.
Bedazzled.
Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you, Stephen. Hey, we could have a bedazzle your snail contest. That would be hilarious.
We're done left. Gorilla Glue and gold litter. Pimp your snail.
Oh, you have no idea. Mm-hmm. See, I like projects. James Handy, Joe, are you okay today? Oh yeah, I'm great. See, this is the problem. This is why I try to, be quiet, because once it gets started, I can't stop.
Stephen wants the diamond and 24 bedazzled snail. We need to get your sister on this.
Oh, I have trumpet snails. Backwards fish room, I got trumpet snails for days. They only come out at night.
Turn that snail into a hippie.
Yeah.
Hippie snails.
Hippy dippy.
They'll look like falling stars.
I think, okay, my eyes are so watery from laughing. Is it Renan? What's that name?
Resendez Aquatic.
Thank you for coming in. They need a wrench.
You got it. Turn you blue, baby. Turn you blue.
Kenny, I'm not talking about you being glittered up. The snail.
Kenny's going to get glittered up. There we go.
I know.
The snail be dazzled.
Kenny,
yeah, he'll do it too.
Roll around in the glitter. You'll be all right. Just roll around in the glitter for a while. You'll be all right.
Right. Snail bedazzled day.
James, get that algae off so you can get something glittery on there. Fish and Wings wants to know, is there a snail that can live in 6.5 pH? It's in capitals because we haven't been paying attention.
Yeah, any snail can live in 6.5 pH. I don't think they care one way or the other. I don't think snails care about pH.
Rocco, I hate to disappoint you. This is me on coffee. I've had 1 cup of coffee this morning. This is me. I'm like this. Father Fish is I've been repressed.
I've been working for months to get her to come out of her shell.
You have not. You have not. I feel like you're too serious, and I can't be like this because you're serious and it's bad. So I try not to do it. Because you have this serious Q&A show, and people come here for help.
Don't put that on me. Don't put that on me.
See, Rosie says Joey is high on life. Haha, she knows me. She's, seen me my whole life. And my sisters do know that I am like this, just straight up. I have never smoked.
Right.
Water culture.
I believe that too, absolutely.
Anything.
Right.
Yeah, just bedazzled. You guys are crazy. All right.
29 highs.
I didn't create anything, TJ.
Chris Trapp, yes, these are 29 highs behind me. That's exactly what they are. Very few people know what that tank is. Well done.
But where do you get them? Like, I've never seen one for sale, truthfully. I've never.
Yeah, you won't. They're special order.
Okay.
They're special order item. I had 10 of them in my shop, and I kept 4, and then sold the others to some friends, so I can sneak 1 or 2 back if I need them. But I've been thinking about doing this top row as a 75, taking these 2 down and putting a big tank up there. I don't think I'll do it, but I've been thinking about it. And actually, what I'm really thinking about is I had a 75 metaframe with beveled edges that
Yeah.
needed to be refinished. And I thought it would be magnificent to rebuild that and put it up there. But I probably won't do that either because that's really a lot of work.
And so there we are, the low tech. We're not doing it because it's really a lot of work.
Low tech is not a lot of work. Right. Right.
Oh, God. Oh, Big J says he has one of them, a 29 tall. Oh, cool. Yep. Yeah, they just, up here, we just get the box store, whatever the box stores sell, which is the standard, 29, 20 high, that type of thing.
Is there a bow in my planks, Father Fish? Lord, I hope not. I am absolute death on bowing my planks. I mean, nothing upsets me more than a bowed plank.
I think I've wiped all my makeup off. Oh, all right.
And Tony P says, "Oh, never mind." Good idea.
Never mind.
Do you have an acrylic tank at the moment? No, I do not, Andres. I do not have an acrylic tank. But
yes,
you have
Gene,
the time, Father Fish. Time and energy. It takes energy as well. Time is one thing, energy is another. They're different. I have the time, I do not have the energy.
See, my eyes are so watery. I started to read Patrick's statement, and I thought he said, Sephora makes some interesting size tanks, and I'm like, when did that makeup company start making fish tanks? I'm so watery, it's Sephora.
Sephora makes them interesting. Sephora.
Not Sephora. Okay.
Sephora. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I'll tell you what, boys and girls, we've hit the witching hour here. So unless you want to hang around for the rest of the day and just giggle your day away, we're going to draw a line in the sand and say, aha, for now. See you in the morning. Chris Trout, the dog says, Mom, you're crazy.
Probably not. What's wrong with you? I'm not wearing yellow tomorrow, so I'll try to be real serious.
Don't make promises you can't keep.
That's probably true.
Fishing tactics. Love it. Love it.
Thank you. Love you guys. Thanks for coming in.
You bet. Let's get a little tune up here. Can we do that? We've got a brand new video just came up, and in fact, I think it's up right now. It's called a master class, a natural aquarium, and it is basically unlistenable. I posted it because it was the one I talked about yesterday that I posted as master class put me to sleep 3 times. It was because I did the first one and the wind was blowing on the mic so bad that it really messed up the sound. So I did another one that was dreadful. I went back and I listened to the first one today, and I love it, except you have to struggle to hear it. So I've posted it. For those of you who are up for the struggle, I give you a master class in Natural Aquarium 2.
What a salesman. You just reeled me right in, yeah. Oh my goodness. We're playing that to leave? We're not playing a song?
Unlisted. Yeah, I'm playing it. I got to make this public first. Published. It's now public. It is there. It is there for you to thoroughly enjoy. And I'm going to find some music, and we're going to
All
dance
right.
our way,
Well,
dance
thank you,
our way
everyone.
out.
Thank you, everyone, for coming in. I had fun. I hope you did.
Indeed, you did. We all
I'm
had
not
fun.
wearing yellow tomorrow. No yellow.
When Joey has fun, we all have fun.
Bye, everyone.
Let's see. You know what I want?
Bye from Bogey and McCall.
Balance the music of Father Fish. Here we go. The music of Father Fish. You know what I like? I'm going to play, if I can find it. There it is, right there.
Thank you, Chevy
I'm
Fish.
going to kick the volume up so we can hear it.
That would be really nice. Thank you, Fish and 10 Chicks, and everyone that super chatted today. Thank you so much.
Can you hear that?
No. We can't really hear it. Can you get it closer? Kenny, thank you so much for super chat. Danikin Aquatics, thank you. We can't hear it, but I'm dancing anyway, Father Fish.
Really?
Yeah, we can't hear it.
Well, you can't hear it?
Not really. We're just going to say goodbye. Get a new microphone.
All right.
Goodbye, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, everybody. See you.
Have a great day.
See you.